wonder if you can hear me over there. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out to the gallery talk with Mary Grieco and Richard Seidel. I know most of you, many of you, is this anyone's first time here at the Morean? Oh, it's yours. Just you and yours too. Oh, fantastic. Great. Well, we love having new people and people that have been here regularly. And we're very excited about this exhibition. And we meaning the Morean, love these two artists. So how this is going to work is we are going to have a conversation among the three of us. And at the end, you guys can ask questions. We'll have a Q&A. So if you have a question, you can ask. If there's a really burning question and you need to ask it right away, then just we'll see if we can fit that in. So, and my name is Amanda Cooper. I'm the curator here at the Morean. Let's see where to start. I've known you guys forever, so I was trying to figure out. Maybe first let's back up. So the title of this show is Floribunda, which is Latin for lots and lots of flowers. And we will talk about the specifics of the show in a little bit. But first I wanted to ask each of you if you could give us 5 fun facts about yourself. Just kidding, don't do that.
Okay.
That's the worst. But just, surprise, you thought you knew what I was going to ask you. If you could just, each of you in turn, say a little bit of background about yourselves. And
sure.
For me in particular, I'm always interested in this area that nobody is from here. I'm always interested in how you came to Florida. Because you're from Ohio, right?
Yeah.
And you're from
Connecticut,
so,
right? Yeah.
Mary,
yeah, I was born and raised in Connecticut most of my life. And I stayed there until about 23 years ago when my husband and I retired and moved to St. Petersburg. So when I was growing up in Connecticut, I was always painting, and it was my desire to go to some art school. My parents thought I should go to college, and I was the oldest of 3 kids and the daughter. And they were not going to spend money on sending me to college so I could become a starving artist. So I then took education courses because otherwise they weren't paying for college. And I became a teacher. So for 35 years, I taught art on the high school level in Connecticut. And I painted. And I've painted forever. I can't even, I was trying to think of when, my first experiences with painting. And I couldn't. So now, as soon as I retired, I was just so happy that, now I can paint. And so actually, my very first painting experience was here at the Morean. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I want to get to that soon in a minute.
Okay.
So you moved down here when? What year?
2003. Right after you, didn't you start here around 2000?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
99. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the 1900s.
Yep.
Richard, what about you?
I grew up in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. My parents weren't too interested in art, but for some reason I was. From kindergarten on, I liked to paint. And so I had a little studio in the basement of the house. And earlier on, I used to take my paintings, and I was, 11. This shop opened up in a shopping center down the street. I'd paint daisies, just some yellow and some white. I'd take them down and they'd sell. So
all right.
I thought, well, this is sort of cool. And I mowed lawns for money and painted daisies. And then through high school, I took art classes all along. That was my favorite class. So, and all my friends were artists. And then we also took classes at Ohio State. It was close. So if Ohio State had anything special, I'd go over there to Hopkins Hall. So that was like a second home. And then graduated from high school and thought about enrolling at Ohio State, but I saw what everybody else was doing, and my art just, I thought, this does not fly. So I went to a small college in Michigan and majored in business and took art on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my life, I opened up an art and frame shop. And so I've always, been around it, and then painted continuously on and off. I'd paint so much, and then like the flowers, I was painting flowers, and people wanted the colors and everything, so I quit painting flowers. Then I did abstracts, and they'd get a divorce, and they'd take the abstracts, wanted another abstract, and I couldn't duplicate the abstract, so I'd quit. And then my parents had a place down here. They were snowbirds, so and they became older and were having some problems, so I moved here about 14 years ago. And right when I moved here, I joined the Morean. I looked up art centers to make friends, and and took a class with Betsy Lester. That's how I met Mary, and opened up a little shop in Bel Air and Antique Alley. And I did a tad of framing, but the paintings were selling, so I just continued on painting. And here I am today.
Still painting.
That's fantastic, and I love how the Morean fits in with both of your art stories.
Uh-huh.
So you both, and I was trying to remember when I first met you or when we first exhibited your work. I know back in, I think it was 2012, we did that show called Bloom in the main gallery that was all floral art.
Yep.
And you were in that, but I think you had been showing here before that, maybe a members
Yeah,
exhibition.
well, yes,
But
that's
you've been here long
yeah,
before
member
that.
show and whatever
Yeah.
other opportunities there were. Yeah.
And same with you, Richard. So we should back up and say Richard is, I mean, they're both longtime Morean members, but, or I should say, and they've taken classes here, and Richard's on our board, and he's also a resident artist.
Yeah, I live upstairs and
upstairs.
ended up with it. I mean, I really moved into the Morean. I got into it. So I live here on the board, and my studio's upstairs, and I have a little gallery.
It's all Morean all the time.
Yes.
100% Morean.
So tell me about, so the class that you all took together was taught by Betsy Lester, who is another person who has a long history with the Morean. She's a fantastic local artist and instructor at Eckerd, and she has been installing all of our exhibitions at the Morean for almost 40 years, I want to say. She didn't install this one, her coworker Chris did this one. But tell me about that, you guys meeting in the class. Were you competitive? Were you kind of on
We were very competitive. I didn't like her at first because she was painting so much better than me. And finally, we had a peace treaty and went down and had some coffee. And I said, "You can't make me look bad. I want to move in here." And it all turned out okay.
I don't think either of us were painting flowers at that time.
No, I forget what we were
No,
painting.
I was painting people, and I was working on a series because I always work on a series. And so I was doing conversations, and it took me about 3 years to get through that. So,
And I was painting abstracts.
oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then I started painting out of the window. And
Okay.
if you look at my things, I paint a little bit of everything. But Mary was, right away, we were friends. It was a great class. It was a very good class.
Yeah.
You were painting out the window. I know we talked about this before. Was it the third floor or the
Third floor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The building behind us. I mean, you were painting out the window.
From the third floor, and there wasn't a building over there, so I did a street. There was a painting called Rosa Parks, and that came from that view. If you saw the painting, you'd notice it. I had it for a long while, but then I sold it. But but we had a class down here too. The classroom would move a little bit.
Yeah, well, there wasn't always a parking lot there. There was
an actual building.
Yeah. And so, this wasn't always here either. This was on the other side where the coffee shop is. And so, so there were classrooms here as well. Yeah.
So you struck up a friendship during the class at some point.
Yeah.
Probably the first day.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
that
nice.
was a good class, and I still come to class on Wednesdays. There's our painting group, below painting group, and with Naverne Covington. So I more or less see Richard in the hallway, and
Because he's always here.
because he's here, right? And it's like, oh yeah, let's get a cup of coffee.
Aw.
So shall I tell them about how we did
Yeah.
this? Okay, so I was working on actually the three paintings, the one right behind you, because yeah, I wanted to experiment more with movement and main movement and gesture. And I also discovered this turquoise color that it's called phthalo turquoise, if you've never heard of it. And it's a very strong pigment and it stains. All right, I'm digress. Anyhow, I saw Richard in the hallway while I was working on these, and he had a painting, a flower painting downstairs in the back gallery, I think. And I don't know why. I just said, hey, Richard, we should do a show together. And he said, I'll take care of that. And I thought, okay, this is going to be like, okay, Richard, let's get a cup of coffee. No, and then you'll never hear about it again. About 2 days later, he called me and said, we're on.
He has a big influence.
Yeah, I guess he does. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was gonna be my next question was, how did this show come about? So it was just from you seeing that.
Yeah.
You have been painting flowers for a long time.
Yeah, I'll tell you why if you want me to, but it kind of come and go. Like I'll do it. As I said, I like to work in series. So if I get going on something, I'll just keep at it for a while and then switch to something else. But I was brought up with flowers I mean, like my father was a carnation grower. He had acres of greenhouses, and all they grew were carnations. Not particularly for the flowers, but carnations send out shoots on their stems. And so they would choose the shoots, which they called cuttings, and they would ship them all over the world to different carnation growers. And he also hybridized them, which means he bred them to get new varieties. So we used to have some dead flowers in our house too, because when you do that, then flowers die and produce seeds, and then they would experiment with the seeds. I guess that's where my experimentation stuff comes from. And yeah, and so then ultimately he was responsible for developing the miniature carnation, those little bunches of carnations you see in Trader Joe's and Publix. That was his thing. And he was a stage father. So when he figured out I could paint, it was like, oh yeah, you can paint these carnations. And then my mother had an aunt who worked for a lamp company, the Handel Lamp Company, and they produced those Victorian globe lights. Well, she did all the painted flowers on the globe lights. So, like, I've been around them forever. Mine are never usually in vases. They're part of a design, but yeah.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it does. I know. I think about them a lot when I'm working. So yeah, now you know.
What about you, Richard? Why do you paint flowers? Or when did you start? Well, you were saying you were painting daisies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and flowers were always part of my life.
Mhm.
My grandparents had a huge garden in a small town, and we used to go visit them and go home with tons of flowers. My grandfather was, and I loved to go to the garden because he had a money tree there too. And so I always came back with money. Somehow, this money tree, there was always money on the ground. I don't know how it did it. So to this day, when I go to the garden, I look for money.
All right.
And then our family in Ohio, that gets dreary in the winter, so we always had flowers in the house and things.
Mhm.
So yeah, flowers were always part of my life.
Mhm.
Nothing like Mary's. So
But there's a connection.
yeah, there is
Yeah.
a
Oh,
connection.
sure.
Yeah.
And we always had flowers around the house and
Hmm.
everything. So I've always liked flowers.
And so in like my childhood memory of going to a class, an art class, there was always a still life with flowers in them. I mean, that's how they did it. It was either that or lemons and oranges and bananas in a still life. Yeah.
And I think flowers are like celebration. I mean,
Sure.
every occasion, it's like food. Every occasion, it means something. So,
Yeah.
Well, this exhibition is definitely very joyful.
hmm
I feel that every time I walk in here. And I love the way um, it dovetails with the Fresh Weeds exhibition
Hmm.
in the galleries, because that exhibition, for whatever reason, tends to be very bright and colorful, and because it's
Yeah.
Florida-based
Yeah.
artists. And so when you came to me with this idea, it just made perfect sense. It all went
Hmm.
together. So I'm glad you had that idea.
Yeah. When I first came to Florida, there was no hibiscus that was safe for me. It's like, I mean, I just couldn't get over all the flowers here that were so different than what I was used to. Birds of paradise. Oh, yeah.
I was amazed. Speaking of that, I just came back from a vacation in New Jersey, and I mean, I guess I'm stating the obvious, but the flora up there, I mean, the grass is dainty, the flowers are dainty.
Yeah.
And you have these houses with the little beds that have here's the little hydrangea bush here. Well, maybe big.
Right.
And then you have this, and I'm thinking, I mean, I was raised here, so I'm so used to everything just being wild and
Yeah,
historical
big.
and
Yeah.
dangerous looking,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just thinking about walking around thinking, yeah, that would be good.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
Dale Chihuly also, his mother gardened a lot,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's where he gets a lot of his forms that are floral come from his background.
That's
Oh,
right.
cool.
Wow.
That is a huge,
Yeah.
well, his mother in general is a huge influence on him, but yeah, if you walk through the collection across the street
Yeah.
sometime, that is very clear that he was influenced by her and her sense of gardening and her love of flowers.
Great.
Great.
Good point.
Were all of the things that we're looking at, the beautiful things we're looking at, were they produced after that wonderful one conversation over coffee, or did you have some flower canvases already that you could pull out?
I have 4 that were produced. Oh no. No, no. Well, the newest ones are the 3 that I mentioned before, that with the turquoise. Those are the very newest ones.
Okay.
If I know Richard, he painted them all after that
He-
conversation.
The day before the.
It's like, are they going to be dry?
No, they're drying. They're still wet.
Oh.
If you'd like to purchase one, we'd have to put it in a dryer. I'll bring down a hair dryer. No, I had the plans of the end one is of my sister, and it was at a wedding. My niece got married in Palm Beach, so I wanted to do a painting of that because I just liked how the flowers were on her head. And then those 2 I actually had finished, and
Mhm.
and then the other ones I painted. So
Well, the one, you can't see it now, but the
Yeah,
one
around the corner.
of the view from the balcony,
Mhm.
that one, you did a lot of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, the one that with those arch shape. Yeah, that one. I was really fortunate to have gone a few years ago to Giverny to see Monet's garden. And if you've ever been there, there are these huge arches covered with flowers that lead up to his house. And so I just took some photographs, and so like last year, I guess, I finally started working on that. So there's 2 in this show that have that shape. So that's where that was from.
And this one started out, I was just going to have a big flower bowl.
Mm-hmm. And
But then I put in a desk. and a glass of wine. And then I thought it'd be funny to have a picture. You know, you have pictures of people on your desk.
Yeah.
So I stuck a picture in that other thing, a little book. And I put notes on the, I think one says flower. And then I did the painting above. So
You got carried away.
I did get carried away. And the flowers look a little dead, but they're still, you know, they're still hanging in
Yeah.
there.
That one reminds me a lot of some of the Van Gogh in-house kinds of things.
Yeah.
With the color choices and the perspective, yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Thank
point.
you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm
See,
any
you
Van
didn't
Gogh.
have that in mind.
You didn't
No,
know that,
that's-
did you?
I like Van Gogh though a lot.
Wow.
Did you do anything at all with textiles? Because when I look at some of the colors, they just look like, make beautiful patterns I've seen in clothing.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's a good point. I mean, none of my flowers are in vases or in gardens. They're all parts of
the
designs.
It's beautiful. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
choices that you use, the colors you put together
Mhm.
remind me of, some beautiful textiles that I've seen.
Okay. Cool.
Do either of you have a favorite work in the show of your own or of the other person?
Mm.
I like Mary's. I like that.
I don't know. I keep changing my opinion, but the piece that Richard did, because it reminds me of my mother-in-law.
Yeah, I wanted you to
Yeah,
tell that.
yeah. I think
Do
that's
tell.
my favorite. Well, my mother-in-law never left a wedding without a centerpiece in her hands. It's like, otherwise they're just gonna die.
Did she carry it out on her head?
No, she didn't have that much alcohol, but no. But they got, she wasn't the only person who did that, but they would be claimed right away so that no one else at the table would dare think that it was theirs. Yeah.
Well, I really love the new color palette that you're working with.
Oh, the
That
turquoise?
was
Yeah.
really,
Thank you.
You sent me that image to
Yeah.
be an example of what was going to be in the show.
Yeah. So with this series, I was really trying to I've always trying to get a main movement or a gesture, but I really wanted to work on that. So I actually started with the one behind you, which is where there's a lot of movement. And then I calmed down and I did the one behind me. And then the last one actually was the one behind you, that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is windfall, and then this
Yeah.
one is full blown.
Yeah, and this is Zephyr, which is the goddess of spring, who she's not a big, strong wind person because she brings the spring flowers. Mm-hmm.
So are you, I guess you in particular, Richard, when you're making work, are you, like that one, for example, I guess that you just started adding things, are you looking at, I know you do a lot of painting and drawing when you're out and about, you always have a sketchbook with you.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Is there anything in here that was done that way, where you did it from kind of like plein air almost? Like that one behind you, the one on the bottom?
No,
yeah,
that one
with the
actually
water.
came out of my head. But actually the one on the top, sort of. But
Okay.
and I'll go back to the sketchbook and look at things. So this, if you go into my apartment, the desk, you see furniture, you see lamps, and things that are in the paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always say observation, and always take your sketchbook every place you go. So and then so if you're in a coffee shop or waiting at the doctor's, so you can do a sketch,
Aww.
which is nice. And then from your sketches you can take paintings or just get ideas, and also you can do it as a travel journal too.
It's a good idea.
So,
Aren't you teaching a class here?
yeah, and I teach a class every third week.
Oh.
Each month I teach a class.
Okay.
You're welcome to sign up.
You were at the pier not too long ago.
Yeah, the class doesn't go to the pier. Maybe we might go someplace when it gets cooler.
Yeah.
I believe in air conditioning.
We all do. And Mary, you don't.
I hardly ever.
Spells.
Sorry.
Oh, well, I want you to answer that.
Oh,
question
okay.
First, but
Okay.
then
Do I?
talk about if you don't teach?
No, I don't.
You're done with that.
I'm done with that. Yeah.
Now talk about.
Oh, and I really don't sketch. I might write notes. I might like maybe sketch a gesture, but I don't do the nice things that Richard does. But I do preliminaries. So these smaller pieces, the 12 by 12s, those were my thoughts on getting started with this series. So I just do smaller paintings. And I don't necessarily copy them larger, but I use them as inspiration and figure out where I want to go from there. So I did 3 smaller ones, 12 by 12s, and then I, kept going. So that's how I do preliminaries.
You both work with acrylic. You ever do anything at oil?
No.
I do. It's just sort of it's messier, but I like the smell. I mean,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it really smells like a studio when you use it. But you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is a pretty messy. And then there's oil sticks, which are fun too.
Those are fun.
And I'd like to do more of that, just
Mhm.
on large canvases and just be really loose.
Loose. Yeah. I like those. I do too.
So, can you each briefly talk about other things that you've done, or you both have kind of touched on it in terms of your artwork that's
Yeah.
not flowers.
Well, the other thing I like to do is printmaking. And so I can do printmaking in my studio and without a press if I do linoleum blocks. So I've done a whole series of linoleum blocks. And then I had this idea that I wanted to combine the linoleum block print with my painting. So the first thing I ever did is, people who are in my painting class know this, I did this whole series of Godzilla. Yeah, I know. I did. So I did the linoleum block is Godzilla. Just saying. And then I did the whole story. It's a narrative around that symbol, and so that got me started. And so when you're leaving here, if you're right in your Chris, right there, yeah, you'll see some other. There's butterflies and there's bees with a painted background. Um, so that's just really fun to do. Um,
Wasn't there one of Godzilla in a field of flowers?
yes, that was the final painting. Yeah, yes.
It's like a precursor.
That's right. Yeah.
Godzilla.
Mhm.
And these are all oils.
No,
If you oil, you just-
no,
they are
acrylics, and even my linoleum blocks are water-based. Yeah.
That's great.
Hmm. Cleanup is much easier. Yeah.
What about you, Richard? What else?
I've worked in, mostly it's painting and my sketching and watercolors. I watercolor the sketches, which I find relaxing and fun. I have done.
Show of your sketchbooks and your.
Yeah, we had a show of the sketches a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, but I've worked in collages, and I did one time, which I really enjoyed, was just doing shadow boxes of gold leaf and drawing on gold leaf, and then wax and putting all these in the shadow box, which was really cool. I haven't done that for years, but I'd like to try that sometime
Oh yeah,
again.
let's do that.
So, but I enjoy doing everything. I mean, art it's good therapy. I mean,
Oh, it keeps you sane.
Is there a place, Richard, that since you're always having your sketchbook with you and observing, is there a place you have around here that's your favorite place to sit and do that?
I'd say the Vinoy Hotel, the Vinoy Park, Demon's Landing. the coffee shops right out here is a great place in front of Caribou because you can watch people come down, so you don't have to paint so fast. You see them coming. So you get the
Okay.
gist of things. So when I teach the class, we go out here and do it.
Mm.
But it was so hot, we did it in the window, and I realized you need distance. So if the class gets bad reviews, that's why. We did not have distance.
So
It's
what's
funny.
next for each of you? You got anything coming up? Any shows or, well, you're teaching a workshop.
Teaching a workshop
Yeah.
on
Workshop on?
sketching, or
Sketching.
just carrying your sketchbook every place you go. It's observation. Basically, if you can sign your name, you can sketch. There's no
All
wrongs
right,
in the
like
class.
that. I
And
like
so,
that.
so I pass out sketchbooks, pens, and little travel water kits because you can take the travel water kits every place you go. And then
take that
if you
class.
travel, you can sketch and then watercolor, and you sort of have a journal of where you've been too.
That's really
I've done a lot of
nice.
artists and residencies, and going back through the sketchbooks it reminds you of, I was there, and just on some street you have no idea where it was, but you remember the house and things.
Yeah,
So
cool. So I'm working on a 40 by 40 painting. I don't know why I chose this, but I did. But I live in the Old Southeast, which is an artist enclave neighborhood. And so now I'm starting to work on things to show in our artist studio tour, which is October 25th. People from all over the place come through. It's free. And check out, last year we had 17 artists in our neighborhood who opened their studios and talked about their work and showed things. So that's a big deal. It's a lot to work on.
So, your studio is upstairs on the third floor.
Yeah,
And then your studio is at your home.
it's at my home. Yeah, I used to have a studio in the Deuces.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I had a studio. It seems like every time I have a studio, either the building gets ripped down or the landlord raises the rent, or once I did a sublet one and the artist wanted it back. So then I finally decided to figure it out and move home. And that was when COVID hit. So that was probably a good thing to do.
Aren't you in a gallery in Custom?
Oh, yes, I am.
How did you know?
That's right. It's a cooperative gallery on 8th Avenue. It's called the Little Room for Art. Those of us who show there work there. Elaine is also a member. Did I miss anybody?
At the beginning, I didn't realize that you started at the year that you moved here.
Yes, and it was shortly after the 5 or 7 original artists who were all painters figured out that they would never be able to pay the rent if all they sold were paintings. So then they started accepting other crafts and yeah, so we've been there over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
It's on 8th Avenue. It's the only commercial street in Paso Grow. Yep.
And then both of you will be in our upcoming members show.
Yeah, Richard's finishing his piece.
Yeah. You started it?
oh no, it's really nice actually. I think it's going to be a very nice painting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We have our annual members show coming up, and it opens July 11th, called Sugar High. In that, to see what y'all are going to do.
Yeah.
I think that's it. We can go to questions unless there's something burning that you guys want to talk about.
Well, I think we've covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? Can I just make a comment? Oh, no, go ahead.
Good.
Okay. I noticed a similarity in your work in that sometimes you choose to outline the shapes and sometimes you don't. Both cases. So
Yeah.
if each of you could share, how do you decide if you're going to outline the shapes
Oof. You want to talk first?
We call each other up and discuss it.
I know. I mean, I don't always do this, but I have a box of crayons. They're water soluble, and they're called Woodies. And so, if I feel I need more detail, and I don't want paint. So let's see if I can find some. So that painting with the blue background, okay, way on top where I, sort of fade in the flowers. First I put down some paint, the white, let it dry, and then spritz water over the dry paint, and then just start drawing. So it's more or less where I want to draw something in. Where else? I don't do any there. I don't think. Oh, I know around the corner that there's another painting with that in it as well. And then sometimes I use like a little tiny squirt bottle. So those flowers on the bottom that have white, that's white paint. But again, it's to create more detail and get a fine line.
And mine's from sketching. When I started sketching, I thought I'll start outlining things, and outlining sort of pops things up. And if you do it really quick, you end up with more of a personality, like her face. You just do it, a dot here and a dot there, and bingo, you got some face.
Yeah.
But all those accent lines, they're done with paint, or they're done.
I do. Sometimes I do it with markers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Waterproof ink, and then I varnish afterwards. And the markers on a lot of the paintings, when you do it with the markers, you can be really quickly. And the faster and the looser you go, the better it turns out.
That's a good point. Absolutely. Yeah.
You don't think, which is a good thing
Yeah.
for me, because I don't think very often.
You don't want to fuss. No.
Yeah, just loose.
Just go for it. Yeah.
And that's what I've always liked about Mary's things. I've always liked her colors and everything she's done.
Now, some of the things, the thicker things, so you're just using the regular medium. I haven't used acrylics in years, so I don't know. But they have this, the one of
the one you can use those.
Yeah.
What do you use for medium? It's thick.
It does.
Yeah.
You just I think those I did quickly with a palette knife. And you can lay it on heavier.
Yeah.
And you can do that.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's fun just to take matte medium that you varnish and mix that with your acrylics. And then you get a better looking shine and stuff. And then like clouds and things, just take your finger and start painting with your finger.
Yeah.
And you get texture, and it sounds ridiculous, but you get texture and everything. I think I saw a movie on Turner, and they were having an exhibit, and he walked in, he says, "Oh, it just needs one thing." And he pulled out a tube of paint and went, "Did you see that?"
No.
And that was it.
Oh, that's great.
So
Cool.
I guess just use anything you have.
Yeah. You can also buy, there's all kinds of acrylic mediums that you can buy. If you want to, put something on first to build up the surface. There's any number of things. Yeah.
Spackling, you can just take
That's
spackling.
what it is, spackle. Yeah.
Just take spackle. If you wanted to make something really with texture, take some spackle and spackle the painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Home Depot.
Yeah. And so there's another way to make some texture that doesn't have a thickness to it. So the top of this painting, those smaller sort of looking blooms, that's actually alcohol. Rubbing alcohol, 91% that you put on, you just sprinkle it on very, just out of the bottle. But really, like, you just put some really loose paint down and then just sprinkle it on.
It's kind of like doing a lot of techniques you might see in watercolor painting.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Alcohol is interesting. If you are doing a painting and make a mistake, especially if you're using darker colors, and if you want to paint over that, sometimes the color would show through.
Yeah.
So I'll take alcohol and just rub off the paint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can also use gin if you drink and paint. No.
If you're out of rubbing alcohol,
Yeah, rubbing alcohol.
gin will
No,
suffice.
I recommend alcohol.
Okay.
You did that one section, you said that there was some kind of vinyl signage on this window, this was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it off, but we had a bunch of old gin that somebody had.
Uh-huh.
And it took a while, but that gin came out with it.
Oh boy.
That was the core memory.
It looks like, do you start just with a plain white gesso canvas? You don't paint solid color first?
No, I
No.
paint just with the gesso. So it's
Oh.
normally white. But once in a while, I'll paint a whole canvas. I
Mhm.
think this canvas I might have painted. I'm not quite sure. But what's neat, if you do a landscape or something, you paint your color like a Naples yellow, and then you have that yellowish tone. And then when you do the
Coming
sky, it comes through, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
I
It's fun.
rarely start with a white canvas. I just can't. I need something there.
Did you put a solid?
I'll put a solid something down. Yeah. And you have to be fully aware that, what you paint on top of it is going to be affected, but that's okay.
And I just paint with the charcoal. I mean, when I start a canvas now, I take a charcoal and just do a sketch of the painting on the canvas, and then start painting. And it sort of guides you through, and then you can start adding things if you're doing something with you need a lamp or something.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much a question, but I think that the colors are so good.
They are.
And
Thank
they
you.
work so well together, both of you, because of the right day color and the
Mhm.
passages of colors. I just love it. I
Thank
love
you.
this color show. And I think that Richard, your idea of having a sketchbook is so good because your mind's always on it then. It's like singularly focused, and also I'm guessing that like it's going to be pretty loose if like you're doing people if you get it quickly. Then your hand is always, honed. Because your drawing hand's always in shape, so that's so good.
And observation. It's amazing when you do this. We're all different, and people are walking down the street holding hands. You look at clothing and shoes and birds. It is really something to, look at stuff. And a lot of times we just walk along and don't pay attention at all. And there's all these things going on. It's sort of like when you ride a bike, you just see so much more than if you're in a car.
Right.
Cool. So.
And it's reality based, like it's not a screen.
It's not a screen.
It's reality based.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so often we're in our own heads, and it brings a whole mindfulness. You're mindful of something outside of your head.
Yeah, because what your head thinks it looks like and what it really looks like are two different things.
True.
So it's just it's an enjoyable thing to do. If you're,
That's it, you have fun.
yeah.
It shows
Oh,
that
yes.
everything is
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
The choice of colors and all.
Well, I've always liked Mary's colors. I mean, her colors have always been my colors. Her palette. I mean, they're just like bright.
Okay.
No, they're
Yeah, they
bright.
are. We hope that when people look at our paintings, that they have joy, that they find them joyful.
Mary, the drips on this one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you achieve those?
With a spray bottle.
Just spray
Just
down the
yeah,
white
just
paint?
put fairly. You have to have kind of fairly loose paint, and sometimes I don't even need a spray bottle. I can just hold the painting up, because like when I'm doing that, I'm usually working horizontally. So then I'll just hold it up, and if it won't move, then I hit it with water in a spray bottle, and that's how you get that effect. And that effect. Yeah.
Do you use any liquid acrylic or mostly like golden full body?
I use both.
Yeah, and I started using more liquid lately.
Yeah.
Liquid's fun.
Yeah.
Too to use.
It is.
It's well, I find painting is it's a fun thing to do, even if they don't turn out. They're just nice it's a nice thing to
Yeah,
do.
I think along with figuring out solutions while you're painting and solving problems, like one of my favorite things is just experimenting. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, so what? You can paint over it. Um, Story from our painting class. Where's Barbara? Is she here? Oh yeah. So Barbara had these powder paints that were lovely, and uh, I I saw a video of an artist who would take a big canvas out to a field and sprinkle powder paints all over, and then leave it out overnight so that the dew would make the powder spread. I was like, oh, I want to do that, but I didn't have any powder paint at the time when I was at home, and so what I had was a bottle of paprika. So it worked. But then Barbara shared her powder paints, which are gorgeous. Yeah, just have fun with it. Come on. It's not open heart surgery. Let's just have some fun with it. Yeah. Yep. I think we're.
Yeah, you should have had spaghetti. If you taken it back out and laid like spaghetti on it,
Yeah.
and then put some paint on it, spray
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then maybe leave it out in the rain, and you take it off, and then you'd have a nice fresh off the spaghetti and
Yeah. You could. Yeah. Or you
a
could
nice
just use
abstract.
dry spaghetti and
Yeah,
then just spray paint over it and lift it up like it's a resist.
yeah. Which brings me, I've been looking at spaghetti. I'm going to try to paint with spaghetti. It's just a thin and see if it acts as an ink to dip it in
Oh
and
yeah.
Oh, with a little brush?
yeah, like a little brush. So
Yeah.
you dip it into the paint and then
And then would you just lay it down or would you draw with it?
I think draw with
Draw
it.
with it? Okay.
So you could draw
It's
hair.
with string, which is similar.
Yeah.
String.
Yeah,
Okay,
beads sort of like
sure.
a string. So
Yeah. Sky's the
I don't
limit,
know what it'll
folks.
turn out to be, but
Yeah.
I'll go home and play with their food.
yeah,
There you
go home
go.
and paint with your
Go
food.
play with your food. I love that. Yeah.
On the 4th week of each month, bring some food and we'll paint.
So, if somebody wants to come visit you here, they just contact you and make an appointment?
Yeah, just come upstairs. If you'd like a tour upstairs after this, I can take you upstairs and show you my studio.
And Mary, you have an open studio, what, twice a year, you said, or one?
25th of October is the artist tour.
Right, is that only once a year?
Yes. Yeah. You show up at, if you know where Chataway is, it's been in the news lately. You just get a map, or you can go online and print a map and come on down. Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh.
Thank you to all of you all for being
Oh,
here.
yes. Thank you for
Thank you for
listening
coming.
to us. Yes. Thank you. And thank you to Amanda and Chris and Wada
yep.
for making it all happen.
It's our pleasure. Great.
Thank you.
Saturday's closing.
Yeah, it is Saturday. Saturday. Okay. Okay.